Hey friends, this is Allie from AllieScraps, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a love-themed prayer request flip book with like the rings. These are binder rings, super affordable. I might also use, I think, one of the colored ones because I'm just really into the coloring lately. But I'm going to do like a tag book or a prayer ring book, whatever you would like to call it, but it's going to be love themed and kind of for the upcoming Valentine's Day holiday. And so I'm using some printables from my shop. So the prayer request printables, Library of God printables for some scriptures I want to include, and then the pocket prayers as well. So I will link all this below. And then I'm also using some older goodies from Illustrated Faith and Blvd. So this is the sticker sheet, the 12 by 12 sticker sheet that has alphas, and then it's got some really cute tab stickers and borders. And then I'm also using some of the You Are Loved collection, again from Blvd and Illustrated Faith. I just love these. They feel artsy and lovey-dovey. This is on the back, some really fun borders, but all since I'm doing kind of a tag book, I'll definitely be using the 3x4s more. And then this is going to be my cover of sorts because I love just like the artsy feel and the XO. And this is what is on the back. So everlasting loved, you are loved, happy heart. I felt very appropriate for Valentine's Day. So that is what I'm using. I also pulled some of my washi that matches really well. It's the teal and pink. And then I also have some of the tip-ins from Blvd and Illustrated Faith, and we're going to use those as well just to make it a really chunky, differently sized tag book. So I'm going to go over to my cutter and I'm going to cut all of these prayer requests and Library of God cards out, and I will come back and show you how I'm going to assemble it all together. Okay, so now that I have everything cut out, so I cut out all the big cards, all the little cards, around to the corners, and then I cut out the 12 by 12 sheet just into the 3x4 cards, kind of laid them all out. You can kind of see there's stuff on both sides because it was a double-sided paper, so that'll give a little bit of variety to the book. And then also took all the tip-ins off of this little hanger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch holes, and I like to do them in the tops, but I've seen people do them on the sides and they look really cool that way too, but I like doing them on the tops just because it really looks like a fun tag book, and I really like that look. So what I'm going to do to punch the holes is use this big boy. It is a crocodile hole punch, and so you have the larger holes. Oh, that one's the larger one right here, and then the smaller ones, and it's actually like an eyelet setter as well, but I'm just going to use the holes. You can also use just a really standard hole punch. I think I usually pick these up for like less than $2 even at the grocery store, so I always lose these, so I always pick them up. But I'm going to use the crocodile because I can actually punch through a bunch at once. So what I'm going to do is collect all the ones that are similar. So I'm going to collect all the pocket prayers, line them up, and then I'm going to use my crocodile and just punch a hole through all of them. So, and it's okay if it gets a little bit cuts a little bit of the word off. This is not perfect, and we know what it says at the top. So we're going to do this next batch, the larger prayer requests, and this just makes it easy for you to for you to just kind of assemble as everything's ready for you to assemble, grab and go. The hole's not going to be perfect, but just as long as it doesn't cut off at the top, it's totally fine. You're not going to be in the exact same spot. We just want them to be in the approximate spot. So together, punch the hole in the Library of God. Look how perfect that is. I'm going to do all of these together. Boom. bunch of little ones there. Now these, you can be a little bit more exact if you'd like, because some of them do have stuff near, like words near the top, but I just like to be a little bit random. Nothing is too close, then I'm going to cut it off. We're going to show you. Do this way. Line it up, punch through. That was 12 at once. That's how awesome this bad boy is. So, here we go. I'm going to stack those up. And then these I might actually do individually, just because this one has really close to the top. So does this one. So I'm going to go hole punch those, and I will be right back. So now that I've got everything cut out, hole punch, you can kind of see how I be a little bit more exact up there. I'm going to string everything together. And so to do that, I'm just going to take my book ring. And again, you don't have to use one of the colored ones. You can use a plain silver. Again, I found these at the Dollar Tree, at the grocery store. Hobby Lobby has a huge selection. There's also bigger ones that you can get. Sometimes when I get them really chunky, I put them on the bigger ones, but these little 1-inch ones will do absolutely fine. So I picked the pink because it matches really nicely. So we're going to just open it, and then we're going to start stringing. So I like to do, like, start from the bottom and then go up. And we'll add the covers and everything later, but I just like to start with the base. So I'm going to start with the pink, and I like to layer just different sizes and textures together. So I might do like a pink one, like prayer request card, like a solid colored prayer request card. Maybe pick one of the 3x4s, do one of the tip-ins, because they're a little bit longer. Then maybe I'll grab one of the 3 or 4 Library of God cards and just kind of layer it like that. And then might do, maybe we'll add another one of these prayer request cards. Maybe it's just assembling and syncing, like matching colors as you go. Like that. We add one of these. I'm gonna bring that yellow in. Adding journaling spots, that kind of thing. So you see how there's like different levels, different texture. Also wanted to add, I don't round the corners of some of the square ones. I mostly just do the prayer request cards that I have, just because, again, I like that extra texture. I like that extra, just a little bit of varied visually. So that's how I like to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this up so you can see me kind of putting it together. But I'm not going to bore you with all of my choices. But again, there's just like it's really just seeing what fits where, how you want to layer things. I like to not put 2 3x4 cards or like the prayer request cards right next to each other. But if you want to do that, you do you. This is your tag book, not mine. So I'm going to do mine this way, and you can do yours totally differently if you'd like. You can even just put a tag book of just 3x4 cards, just these cards, and you don't even like to do the longer layering. Totally up to you. So I'm going to speed this up while you watch me finish the rest, and then we'll come back for the cover.
Next level.
Okay, so here's the basic base of all of this, and it might look like it has no rhyme or reason, and it really doesn't. I'm just layering things. You see the different textures and how it just looks different every single page. So you could just leave it like this and just fill in your prayers and fill in these little tip-ins, and then just go from, like, just throw this in your purse and go. But I like to have a little bit more fun. So what I like to do is make both a cover, and I like to decorate the inside before I even do any of the prayers, because I find that if I do some of the artsy stuff first, that makes me want to get into it and really, I can really focus on the prayers and the words and all of that if all of the artsy stuff is already done with it. And so the artsy stuff is kind of one form of worship for me, and then the prayer is another. And so not to separate those two, but just I kind of have different mindsets when I do each of them. So let's make the cover next. And so how I do that, again, this is just all on the fly. There might be a better way. This is how I do it. Makes sense in my brain. So, and this is, again, you can kind of flip to where the first page is. You can change it up. I just like to kind of decide. Like that. So I take one of the longer ones. It can be the prayer request. It can be the Library of God card. It can be one of the tip-ins. And what I like to do is take my 12 by 12 paper, and I kind of measure out where, like, what parts I like the cover to be. So I sort of grab my 12 by 12 paper, and I see where I want different parts of the cover to be. So for this one, I really like this XO, and I really like these crosses. So I want that to be kind of parts of my cover. And so what I do is I line up the prayer request card, and I like a little bit of an extra like edge or lip to these. So you can see a little bit extra there. And I take my pencil, I mark, again, just giving a little bit extra, mark where I'm going to cut. And then I do it on this, I'm going to do it on this side as well. And then I'm going to go cut, and I will come back with 2 different pieces of double-sided cardstock, and I will show you how I put together the cover. Super easy, I promise. If you can use scissors or a paper trimmer and you can use a pencil, you can do this. So you have these 2 different pieces that you measured and cut, and these are going to be your covers. So you can also round these corners if you would like to match the prayer request cards, or you can leave them square if you're doing that to match the tip-ins. Either way, totally up to you. So I'm going to still use the prayer request one that I've already assembled, because that's going to be kind of my guide for the holes. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I like the XO, but I think I'm going to use this portion for the cover, just because it's a little bit simpler, and this will be a nice little back cover. So I'm just going to, those are going to be the insides, this will be the front and the back, and that's how they're going to go on there. So I'm going to line them up just like that. I'll line them up with the prayer request, centered a little bit, and you are going to have a little bit extra on the top because you want it to cover the top of your book a little bit. we're gonna line this up, and what you can do, if you don't want to juggle all of them, you can take your pencil and mark the little hole there, which is a little bit easier. So instead of having to juggle 3 pieces of paper, you only have to juggle 2. Punch the hole, and there you go. You can also laminate these if you want an even sturdier cover, but I just find that I like how they get a little bit roughed up in my purse and wherever I throw them. So we're going to put these on. So we'll add this card back in there. And you can also like cut these down, like your extra pieces, cut them down and add them to your tag book as well. I think that's always a lot of fun. And I don't know where this went, so we're just going to add it. Anyway, told you, this will change. You're going to move things around. You're going to move different colors around and prayer requests around, and all of that is okay. I'm going to open up our ring. Front cover. Back cover. And there we go. Now again, you can stop here and then just fill in your prayers and you can go, or you can use a really fun sticker sheet like this one and you can decorate it completely. So what I like to do is I like to start with my cover, and then I'm going to just do prayers or pray. I haven't decided which one will look better, and I'm just going to spell that out on the front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and just use some of these stickers and decorate the pages and the prayers, just so I have that done, and that can kind of help guide some of my prayers. So there's like tabs, and they're just little really fun stickers. So what I'm going to do is, if I have, you'll notice some places I do have 3x4 cards next to each other, like right here. So this one and this one. So to add a little bit of visual interest, so I know that there's, you know, extra ones next to each other, I'll probably put a tab right here so I can kind of flip to that one if I would like to. But mostly I just go through and I just stick them because it'll make sense later, I figure. So I'm going to speed this up while I kind of decorate each one of these, and I'll come back and we'll show you the finished look. So now that I have the whole book kind of assembled and put together, I'm going to just outline a couple things, especially this pray on the front, because I love that light little pink, but I want it to pop a little bit more, especially against these crosses. So we're just going to And there we go, our finished prayer book and tag book. I hope you liked watching this video. I hope you are excited to make one of your own. Be sure to check all the links below in the description box. I'll link everything that I used here, and including pens and supplies. And I cannot wait to see what you do as well. Be sure to tag me if you make one and share it on Instagram. I'm at Allie_scraps, and I just cannot wait to see what you do. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.